the behavior is we should behave non-violently. So non-violence is the behavior of Buddhism. Non-violence. And the non-violence means you should try to help other people, other beings who are in need of help. Okay? Other beings who are in need of help. And if somehow, if you cannot, if you don't have the courage, if you cannot benefit others, then at least you should not harm directly or indirectly others. You should not harm other beings directly or indirectly if you cannot help them. If you can, you should help them. You should serve them. If you cannot, then at least you don't harm them. That is Buddhist behavior. So these two things, behavior and view, that is the summary of Buddhism, and you should know about this. And what is the view of Buddhism? The view of Buddhism is dependent origination and emptiness. This goes together. Dependent origination or dependent arising and emptiness, these two go together. There's a view, the wisdom part. And then method part, that is behavior, that is non-violence, compassion, loving-kindess, and so forth. So these two things, okay? Now, dependent origination, we will talk more about dependent origination because we are going to talk about cause and effect, right? Now this, last year also I might have taught the cause and effect system. This is what I call is law of nature. This is natural law. This is nothing to do with Buddhism. If there is cause, there will be effect. That is nature. That is natural. So then, if there is a good cause, there will be a good result. If there is a bad cause, there will be a bad result. There is also law of nature. It is nothing to do with Buddhism. This system was there. This system have always been there. Before Buddha, during Buddha, after Buddha. Okay, this system will be there. Whether you are Buddhist or not, you have to follow this. There is no choice. You have no choice. Everybody has to follow this. So that we can, now there are external system of cause and effect system and internal cause and effect system. So external cause and effect system, that is mostly we can see, we can feel. So then you take that as an example and then you have to apply that to internal cause and effect system. Actually the causality is not easy to know. It's very deep. It's extremely profound, that it would be very difficult to understand fully by us, by the beginners. So, but we can get some level of understanding, and through that we can develop our faith, trust in causality. Okay? So for that we should look at the external cause and effect system first. So that is quite easy. That whatever we do now, when we look at the phenomena, all moving phenomena, like the river, ocean, always you have ocean, so you can have a look at the ocean. It's always moving. The waves are there, it's coming up and going back. Waves are ups and downs, and then it makes sounds. It's always moving. So if it's moving, indicates there's a cause that makes it move. If there is no cause, then it will not move. So there is cause. But there are many causes. You say, I don't know anything. But the main cause, one of the main causes is the wind, right? The wind makes the wave. Wind comes and goes, and then wave comes and goes, and the wind is stronger, then the waves are higher, and so forth, right? So similarly, you look at any kind of things. The car is moving, right? Driving a car is moving on the road. So many causes are met, otherwise car cannot move. So many things. For example, firstly you need the manufacturer, otherwise there will be no car, there will be no moving. So the manufacturer is one cause. Then when you think about the manufacturer or the factory, then the building, the manager, the laborers, the machines, the technology, so many things were there. Otherwise there will be no car. And then there's a body, car body, but that is also not enough. And then you need electricians and so forth, you know. There's so many parts, tire and the engine and the body, and there's so many, screws, you know, put together. And then all those materials have millions of atoms that we cannot see. All this has to be together. And then when the car is on the road, then you need gasoline, and then you need a driver, and not only gasoline, engine oil, other oils, brake oil, the water, and so forth and so on. So many causes to be met to move a car on the road, like that you can see. And then similarly, you make a cup of tea, you need a lot of causes. You need a water to be boiled, so water, pot, fire, gas, the effort of the person, and then milk, then tea, then sugar, and it has to be boiled, pour in a cup. Only then you can drink a cup of tea. You know, so many causes to be met for a cup of tea. And then you look at the fields, farming fields. You need the seed and the plow, and then watering, and then the fertilizer, and the efforts of the people, efforts of animals, efforts of tractor, and so forth and so on. Then you can expect the fruits. So that's cause and effect. So now there's a cause, there will be an effect. That should be established. The theory, the thinking should be established. And then you know that if one small seed, and then when we talk about cause, there is a main cause and a conditional cause, or main cause and associated cause. Okay? Conditional cause or associated cause. The main cause is, for example, for the apple tree, main cause is the seed. The principal cause is the seed. And then the other causes such as fertilization, watering, soil, efforts of the man, tractor, and so forth, that is associated cause. Okay? So the main cause is a seed, a small tiny little seed. It has the potential to give a big tree. And when the tree grows, it will give hundreds of fruits. But when you look at the principal cause, it's a tiny little seed. So that is called the potential cause. or potential of karma. We should know about that. It has a big potential.